Hey folks, this is Shantron here with the Untouchable challenge. The rules are in the description and today's fight is W'wargaz. This is the last boss fight in Act 1 and it can be kind of hard if you don't have a good plan to deal with W'wargaz and his mind claws. Okay, so here we go. I have the Scroll of Glyph of Warding ready. I'm gonna be using the sleep version on W'wargaz and then I'm gonna be luring everyone else into it. The idea here is to hit as many of them as possible with sleep once we start combat. If we hit W'wargaz, it's gonna be awesome because the fight is gonna be really easy. If we don't, it's gonna give me the option to attack a lot of the other ones with automatic criticals. We're just speeding through this portion here where I'm trying to lure them all into the circle. As you saw before, they didn't get actually mad at me for starting the circle. And now once they're all in there, we can move up. I could use a bomb here, which would make the fight very easy because it starts them all off with a lot of damage on them. But instead I'm gonna use an acid. I don't use the fire, I don't want them to be burning here. And acid might actually lower their armor class, which could be relevant. So get it down there, start with Halo of Spores as to not use any actions, so I have all the actions in once I start combat. I also consume a berry to heal a little and proc my on-heal effects. Okay, so now we're ready to actually go with the fight. We're also gonna notice a weird bug or something like that in this fight later down the line, and I'm gonna talk about that once we get to that. At first it had me a little confused what was happening, but then I realized. I bunch up the methods here, and then I move up Synthar so we can get a speed potion going. We could maybe have done without a speed potion here, but nah, I still like using it because he can get problematic if the fight takes too long. So Muddy on all of them, as you can see, we have 2 sleeping targets. There's 55% chance apiece for each of them to fall asleep, but luckily one of them who fell asleep was W'wargaz. They automatically fail their saves against the Muddy when they are sleeping, and all of the other ones made their saves here. So we're just gonna try again, see if we can land it. And once again, this time we actually hit one though, so that's quite neat. Skeleton. So usually I would move up the skeleton and shoot someone sleeping, but the only one I can move up to here is W'wargaz, and that's not gonna be great. So instead we go with Synthar, and we have the other single target, but luckily they are in a good position here. There's a fun interaction with the arrow of many targets and sleeping people. You automatically crit sleeping people, and if you crit with your first attack with an arrow of many targets, everything is gonna crit, as you see here. So we just cleared out 3 of them with 1 shot and damaged the last one a lot. W'wargaz didn't get woken up because it only hits 4 targets, and that's just perfect. So now we could go and just basically kill the last one and then have the entire next turn for W'wargaz. I move up Shovel to get a little extra here, and then there's something weird happening that I didn't at first understand what was going on. I can mod breath with this method again, and I'm not supposed to be able to do that. I didn't notice at first, but when I changed to the other method and noticed that it too could mod breath, I knew that something wrong was going on. It seems to be that because Shovel entered the fight, it has reset their turn counter, their internal turn counter, without resetting the external one. So there's some weird stuff going on there. It doesn't matter too much in this case, but getting Muddy on this guy is quite nice. I didn't notice at first that the only reason Synthar didn't already have advantage was that he was just too close. So he should just have stepped back and shot him. All the rest of it was basically wasted. I do have 2 main actions here, so I could just go straight into it, but all of my pets have used their actions. And I do want to be able to kill W'wargaz as fast as possible. So we're just going to skip through our turns here. He's sleeping, so we might as well. And now in the next one, it's important that I open with... I start by applying Muddy again, so if I don't kill him this turn, he's still muddied up from the next turn. And now I'm standing next turn, and I can just open with the strongest single target arrow I have to get the extra damage and the critical, of course. It could have rolled better, but it's still quite nice. At this point, I ought to have moved up to the top of the stairs to get my high ground advantage. I miss that it actually grants high ground for whatever reason. It's just been too long since I played at this point, I think. And we're still gonna get it with the skeleton at least. He also needs it more. And then we're gonna try to lay as much damage on with the pets. So 17 from the skeleton, 33 from this one, that's 50 already. And another 7 there, that's pretty sweet. 57 points of damage from the pets, I'm pretty happy that I waited that 1 turn. And then I have 2 shots with Synthar here to finish him up, which is plenty. And there we go. Of course I got the lucky version of the fight here, hitting W'wargaz with the sleep effect. If he had not been affected by the sleep, he would have been able to do the Mind Claw stuff. But at least some of the other ones should likely have been affected by the sleep, and we could still do the arrow of many targets trick, and also just lay a lot of damage into the sleeping ones. If you kill one of the sleeping ones with just a close-up shot, it should be able to die in 1 shot, actually. and then you can do the error of many targets on one or the other, hitting the rest of them and deal a lot of damage that way. At that point, just go straight for W'wargaz before he gets to do a lot of his tricks. If he doesn't get to summon more than probably 4 over the course of 2 turns, Mind Claws, they are not too much of a problem. Just ignore them. And as soon as he dies, they're gonna die as well. Thank you for joining. If you have been, I've been Chandran. You've most definitely been awesome. Don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, and bye-bye.